Welcome to another episode of Story Explained. Today we'll be looking at one of the few indie horror games developed by Chilla's art. So sit back and relax, grab yourself some popcorn, and let's get right into it. A young girl leaves her apartment for work when she suddenly finds a phone downstairs. She looks around and finds a strange man searching for something in the parking lot and asks if the phone belongs to him, to which he acknowledges and takes it. She then makes her way to work at a coffee shop where she works as a barista, serving up orders and cleaning up the place during closing hours. Everything seems normal the first few days, but suddenly things start to get weird, where people come in coffee shops talking about the place being uncomfortable for them or that the city's stalker cases are rising. Sometimes the girl gets hit on by random guys or a naked guy comes in to dance for her. But what really sets the tone is when you find a photograph of yourself taken from outside the shop on the table. The girl gets uncomfortable, but thankfully she focuses on her job to keep her mind off, where eventually she meets a private investigator who offers to help her. She considers calling him when she starts to receive creepy notes and sees a random guy standing in the drive-thru who disappears when she goes out to investigate. All these events take a heavy toll on her mind, and she has a nightmare where she is attacked by the silver-headed man, which forces her to call the private investigator who hurries along to help her. The same night, she receives a customer telling her that somebody is standing on the roof fixing an antenna, but the TV seems fine, which seems odd. So the girl goes to investigate, hoping to find the private investigator there. Up on the roof, she finds an open roof window where she climbs down to enter the storage room and finds something very horrifying. A whole bed there with belongings to someone living in the storage room. The girl makes the decision to quickly close the shop and leave, but just as she flips the door sign, a man runs towards the glass door and stares at the girl, which horrifies her, forcing her to use the ladder to climb back on top of the roof. Here she discovers the body of the investigator resting below. With no other option left, she picks up a brick and throws it on the man, presumably killing him. But the body is never found by the police, who promises her that they will find him. Few days pass and the girl is resting in her apartment where she discovers that her phone is missing and she hears her ringtone outside. She goes out of her apartment and finds her phone ringing in the parking lot near a van, which she picks up and goes back home to pick up her call, when suddenly the closet door opens, revealing the same man who she presumably killed lunge out and attack her, and the story ends here. The story takes inspiration from real-life stalker cases. The girl encounters a man who becomes infatuated with her when she serves him a cup of coffee once in the coffee shop. And from then on, he starts following her everywhere and stalking her, going to her apartment, tampering with her car so that she would be forced to take the bus ride with him in it, and even hangs around the cafe a few times, just lurking around in the background. Eventually, this infatuation becomes a delusional form of love for him, thinking that she belongs to no one else but himself, hence why he starts living in the storage room of the shop, taking pictures of the barista from afar and leaving her poems to confess his feelings. Hence why we can see that when the barista gets startled by a woman taking her baby out on a stroll, the stalker takes this in such a way that the woman hurt the barista, hence why he kidnaps or kills her baby, which is the reason why we see her visiting the shop later with an empty pram and weeping sounds can be heard from the woman. The investigator is also killed by the stalker, as he believes that he would form a wall between the two of them and he needed to get rid of him. The stalker gets hit on the head with a brick at the end, but he survives, possibly getting just a concussion. He eventually makes his way to the barista's apartment where he lures her out with her lost phone and hides in her closet, and eventually attacks her when she comes back in. It is not known what happens to the both of them afterwards, but it may be possible that the girl may have died or simply have been held hostage by the stalker, leaving the players to interpret what truly may have happened.